Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Moreno Show. Guys, I kind of want to do something a little bit different today. I want to talk about something that made me really happy. Last night, Bill Maher shared this on X, and it was just incredibly amazing. As you guys know, Bill Maher and Kid Rock just had dinner with President Trump at the White House, and a lot of people have been wondering, like, oh, smokes, well, how'd it go? We haven't heard anything from it. But last night, Bill Maher dropped almost a 13-minute video on X, and it's also on YouTube. And he was describing the dinner. And honestly, it was incredibly wholesome. It was so gracious, incredibly sincere, and a lot of people are saying the best things about this. So if you guys haven't seen that, I strongly recommend you guys watch it. I'll go ahead and play some clips right now. But to me, this is such a beautiful expression of unity and being able to have conversations with people who we don't often agree with. And I love that Bill Maher took this moment to talk about, like, what are we going to do? We're just not going to talk about each other. We're just not going to talk with each other. We're just going to continue writing these the same weird pieces like for the 25th time. Like, or are we actually going to go across party lines and try to have a meaningful conversation that actually does something, that actually pushes the conversation forward, that actually heals more than it destroys. And this actually made me really, really happy. And I want to talk about it for a little bit. So if that sounds interesting to you, thank you so much for being here. And also, please consider liking and subscribing if you want to have more conversations like this. So let's just go ahead and get right in. So one of the things that I wanted to share, I saw this from the Vigilant Fox, and again, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I will play a little bit of some snippet clips. And here is Bill Maher talking about how his mind was blown whenever he realized that the President Trump that he sees on the screen is actually incredibly different from the President Trump that he saw across the dinner table. Check this out.
Point we were walking through it is an amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that. He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that with him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, your mind is blown, so's mine.
He actually went on to describe that President Trump actually wanted Bill's input in some incredibly important topics regarding war and national security. And the fact that President Trump was open enough to listen to his perspective, I just think is so it's mind-blowing. And to me, it says a lot about the character of our president. Check this out from ALX. He says, as someone who has had the honor of having dinner with Trump twice, I can say the most fascinating thing is him giving you his full attention and showing real interest in what you are saying. He doesn't act like he has better places to be. In fact, both dinners went past midnight. Wow. And Bill has said the same exact thing. It is incredible. Laura Ingram says, best Mayor monologue ever. Well written, thoughtful, funny, and compelling. Wow. I have another clip right here, also by Vigilant Fox. He was saying that Bill was way more comfortable speaking with Trump than he ever would have been with Obama or Clinton. Incredible.
I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. He was even okay when I checked him on the orangutan lawsuit. He was. He said to Dana White, Bill said my father was an orangutan, and I really love my father. And I said, well, Mr. President, I did that because I didn't like what you were doing regarding Obama's birth origins. I thought that was low. Again, no anger, just a little smile as if to say, yeah, I get it.
On this channel, we talk a lot about making America human again. And I think at the core, the most practical way to do that is having genuine conversations with each other. Be able to laugh with each other. Be able to pick jokes at each other. Be able to have a conversation over a meal with each other and to not immediately just explode or obliterate on one another. So the fact that they were able to talk about something so jokingly and wholesomely, I think is just such a win. Patrick Bet David says, I don't agree with 80% of Bill's policies, but respect the heck out of him for willing to speak to anyone, including President Trump. This is a great example of unifying America. Got to respect the president for making the time when he doesn't need to. So good. Caroline Levitt says, I'm so glad that Bill Maher finally saw what so many of us know to be true about President Trump. He's kind, approachable, and hilarious. This is worth watching every minute of it. So good. And I do love how Bill Maher actually ends this. He says that he used to think that a crazy person lived in the White House, and that is just not true at all. Check this out.
The most surreal part of the whole night was when I got home. I flew back right after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump in one of their stories, standing at a podium in a room that looked to me like one of the rooms and places we'd just been in. And he's ranting, disgusting, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch? And why can't we get the guy I met to be the public guy? And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to do that. It's not. I'm just reporting exactly what I saw over 2.5 hours. I went into the mine, and that's what's down there. A crazy person doesn't live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is fucked up. It's just not as fucked up as I thought it was.
Amazing. I love it. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about it. I know kind of, I'm not even going to apologize for this being a different video because I said a while ago that part of the core that I want to do, or part of my big mission here, is to try to make America human again. And how do we do that? How do we do that? By elevating conversations like this, elevating conversations that embrace unity and embrace conversations. And I think this is good. I think this is needed. Anyways, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Episode's over already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.